Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS magazine videos. I am Paco Garcia and today I want to talk to you about Children of the Fall. This is a South African narrative role-playing game that breaks with a couple of conceptions that makes it really interesting, and I'm about to tell you everything about it because if you like narrative games and something that gets you out of your comfort zone, you definitely want to take a look at that one. Welcome to the GMS Magazine RPG review videos. Let's game. Children of the Fall is a South African game written by Gareth Graham, the author of games like Dust and Karma, in which we play as children in a post-apocalyptic world in which the adults have become these crazed assassination machines called the Fallen. After an event that we don't really know what happened, anybody over the age of 16 has become this creature that compulsively just kills anyone who is not like them. That will be us, children of the ages of between age 8 and 16. Why is this interesting? From the moment you become 16 years of age, at some point, without any warning at all, you're going to turn into one of the Fallen. There's no way to stop it. Your days are literally numbered, and you have to survive, if you choose to, in this world, and you have to look after other children who may be a lot younger, as young as 8 or 9 or 7, to survive every single day. That is harder than it may sound, not just from the point of view of the apocalypse, but also the point of view of gaming. Children of the Fall is a narrative role-playing game. What does this mean? It's a very rules light with just one die mechanic. The game is divided in scenes, and every scene one of the players is going to take the role of the active player, effectively becoming the GM. It's just going to direct the scene. That means that their character is going to take a second, it's going to step back a little bit, it's not going to take a starring role, and that active player is going to narrate everything that's going on during that scene. The scene is meant to last 5, perhaps 10 minutes. And in a gaming session, depending on the number of players, each player should be the active player at least 4 times. When the 4th time has happened, then the session should come to an end, because you will have been playing for about 3 to 4 hours, which is the average duration of a game like this, of one of the sessions for Children of the Fall. There are also some some aids to help you out to, run and carry out the scenes, because the game has only one rule that shouldn't be broken ever. You cannot say, no, this didn't happen. If somebody says that a tree falls on you, you can say, no, it didn't. It does. You just have to work with it. And the game encourages the active player to drop the scene to pass the baton to another player when it reaches a very climatic or tense or dramatic moment. Challenges are resolved rolling 2d6s. If you roll 7 or less, then you get a complication. If you get 8 or more, then you get on with it. Yes, that means that you have less chances of doing things successfully than you do of actually getting complications. When you get a number of complications, your character will have to be retired, whether it is because it dies or is too wounded, it's gone too mad, etc, etc, etc. The game also places heavy emphasis on relationship between characters. Because we're meant to be playing children, we're also meant to be playing their fears and their longings and desires. For that, we're going to choose who we're scared of, who we like, who we don't, who we think shouldn't even be there, who we love. who we feel protective towards. And that will help us, if there's somebody who you feel like they have no place in this tribe that we're creating and they're in trouble, are you going to help them? But maybe they have skills that you need. What are you going to do? Are you really going to let them be eaten alive by their parents? Well, it's up to you what happens. But remember that whatever you do, then the player later on is going to be the active player, and if that's the case, they may want to accept revenge on you, which is a very bad thing. Characters are divided in archetypes. That is that, for instance, one of them will be the doctor. Not that they're going to be a doctor because they're children, but they may have some knowledge of, first aid or some idea about how to cauterize a wound, how to disinfect, how to administer an antibiotic. Maybe they've been a sickly child and they've been around hospitals a very long time, so they can recognize hospital equipment. Maybe it's a 15-year-old Boy Scout who's been talked about how to survive in the wilderness. There's going to be the hunter, there's going to be the thug, the inventor. I think there are about 16 different archetypes, and absolutely nothing stops you from creating new ones. There is also a massive emphasis on Session 0, which is the session where characters will be created, but also where the world that the adventure is going to take place will be created. It doesn't have to be today, it can be any time, but you will need to decide above all, when is it taking place? Immediately after the fall takes place and the adult becomes rabid killers, or is it going to be 6 months later? Then there is also, where are you going to be living? The haven, that's called. This is something that you all decide in teams. And then you have the missions. Missions is a way to actually drive the adventure, drive the sessions. And a combination of missions can be a whole campaign. Even though this is very rules light and this is going to be very driven by the player's imagination, there is plenty of scoping here for longer campaigns. Even though the likelihood of finding the origins of the fall, the event that precipitated the apocalypse, because you're kids, you just don't have the scientific knowledge to get there. Even though finding the origins is very unlikely, but what if surviving it isn't? What if you want to take them from one side to the other? What if you have to cooperate or fight with other tribes of kids who are nearby and you need to fight for resources or trade? There are plenty of opportunity for insane role-playing, but this is a game that will certainly take you out of your comfort zone. Even though you're playing children, this is not a game for kids. This is a game in which kids of different ages are going to have to live together. And I don't know if you remember when you were 16, I could barely stand children of 8. What would it be like if I actually had to save their lives? In terms of reproduction, the only chance you have to actually keep going is that the fallen, the adults, they keep procreating. So you could find a baby somewhere. Baby that will survive just a few hours before a fallen turns against it and kills it. What are you going to do with it? Just raising a child alone would be more than enough to last you for years of gaming. Years. So what are you going to do? So if you are the active player, another player can give you a bead or whatever it is, a token that you use as drama points to influence how the scene is evolving. It can also be used to avoid a complication, and it can be used as well to avoid a consequence, which is sometimes very necessary, but also to introduce complications or NPCs into other players' scenes. So they are meant to be coming and going constantly. One should not be shy with it. Please do take a look at the game, because as narrative games go, this is one that you can read, even though the game and the book it looks pretty hefty, but it's very, very easy to read. You can do that in just a couple of afternoons. There's plenty of open spaces in there to take notes to whatever it is you want to do. And it is really worth it. Very well worth it. I absolutely love it. Love it. I hope you will enjoy it as well. The layout is good enough. You can find it through Drive-Thru RPG in both PDF and print on demand, which the quality is excellent. You know, this is the book I have in my own hands, and it's seeing an awful lot of gaming time because I've used this book a ton, and the binding is still holding. It's not lost a single page, so it's very highly recommended. It's very good printing. Let me know what you think if you have either seen it, and let me know what you think about the idea of playing with children. Is that something that you'd be interested in? How will you do that? Anyway, I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Please do leave me your comments down there, because they are so welcome, and I do love getting them. But until the next time, thank you very much indeed for being there. It is truly appreciated, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Take care.